The Hilltop Glove Podcast is sponsored by Mid Carolina Service Company.
Mid Carolina Service Company is the first name to search for your residential or commercial HVAC needs in Lexington and surrounding areas.
Just go holler at Jason and Clint. They'll hook you up on the air conditioners, on the restaurant equipment, refrigerators, refrigeration, ice machine repair. They've been doing this for years. I know them cats forever.
Family owned and operated since 2006, they pride themselves in their quality work and customer relationships. Call 803-356-4153 or visit midcarolinaserviceco.com for a no obligation quote for service today.
The Hilltop Glove Podcast is sponsored by True Brilliance Entertainment.
True Brilliance is a production, promotions, and management company dedicated to connecting artists and producers across the Carolinas to music industry professionals.
Several of their clients have placements both domestic and internationally as a result of their services.
Are you an artist or producer looking to build meaningful relationships within the music industry? Then True Brilliance is for you. Check them out at paramilitary.com. That's spelled P-A-I-R-A military.com.
This episode of the Hilltop Glove Podcast is sponsored by Bob's. Bob's is a Columbia-based retailer of over 100 Black-owned products from 20 Black-owned businesses. Bob's offers a wide range of items from household cleaning, cosmetics, and everything in between. With every visit to Bob's, you support Black-owned businesses, giving them the opportunity to grow and establish connections with our community. Bob's is located inside the Noma warehouse at 2222 Sumter Street in Columbia, South Carolina. Visit their website, weshopbobs.com for in-store pickup or to find out more. Bob's can also be found via social media on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at weshopbobs. When you stop by, tell them the Hilltop Glove sent you. Bob's brings quality Black brands to the Columbia community. The Hilltop Glove Podcast is sponsored by Red Rooster Sports Bar and Grill. Red Rooster is your neighborhood bar and grill serving the best wings, burgers, and baskets in the Met.
Like the amazing food, the bar is always on tap, and there's plenty of screens to watch the big game. Red Rooster is the Midland's premier meetup spot for local car and bike clubs, fraternities, and sororities.
Staff is dedicated to accommodating all kinds of parties and events. If you're looking to catch a game, have a bite, and a drink, look no further than the Red Rooster.
Red Rooster is located at 7500 Wilson Boulevard, Columbia, South Carolina. For more information, visit redroostersportsbar.com or visit them on Facebook, Instagram at Red Rooster Sports Bar. Go where the winners go.
Welcome to the Hilltop Glove Podcast.
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 Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Hilltop Glove Podcast. Today we have the pleasure of speaking with Mr. Chris Mohead, also known as Rob Savage. You want me to call you Rob? People call you Rob on the street.
Some people call me Rob. Some people call me Chris. Just depends on where you know me from.
Okay.
You know, it really doesn't matter.
All right. So Chris is an artist, father, and entrepreneur that believes music is a language. And as an artist, it allows him to tell his unique story, as well as come in contact with many filmmakers, models, actors, and creatives in the process. As a military child, he claims Columbia, South Carolina at that, as his home since 2004. And he started rapping in high school, which led to doing skits and perfecting his craft. Since then, he has performed in over 100 shows. His first album, The Sunflower Act 1, details his life from birth to fatherhood and the journey of entrepreneurship. In 2019, he went into business with his father, Duke Mohead, and started Hylo Art Entertainment. Hylo Art Entertainment is a community-based platform that showcases South Carolina's local artists, poets, and hosts each and every Thursday night at my house located at 7205 Two Notch Road. During COVID, they decided to focus on interviews and open mic style performances called 600 Seconds with Hylo Art, which can be found on YouTube and all streaming platforms, most streaming platforms.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you for joining us today. How are you?
Thank you, man. I'm doing good. It's a beautiful Saturday morning. It just feels good outside, man.
In fact, you got your green on?
Oh, that's today? I thought it was yesterday.
It was yesterday.
Oh, I'm about to say.
Everybody's celebrating it today.
Right, okay.
Yeah, we blacked out today.
Right.
I thought I was about to get
back
pinched
to normal.
up, man.
I was like, let me wear my green just in case anybody try me.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so thank you for being here, especially, and also thank you for collaborating with us. You've done a couple projects with us earlier this year, and we just appreciate your creativity and also like willing to help out, and we just appreciate that.
Definitely, man. Thank y'all for having me. I'm happy to be here. I'm excited.
We are definitely excited with everything you've been doing. I actually have an episode on Hylo Art. I did it with the 600 Seconds with Kendra. Yeah. It was literally at the beginning when you guys first started.
Yeah, we were one of the first.
Yes, so you guys got to check that out. But we want to start off each interview telling us a little bit more about yourself, your childhood, what was it like growing up as a military family, and who or what influenced you to be who you are today.
So growing up as a military kid is it's nice. It's cool and everything like that. The only, I guess, stressful, if you can call it, part about it is when your father has to go to, he went to war like 3 different times where, he left us for like a year. You know what I'm saying? So, and then my mom is basically a single parent at that point, and I got 2 brothers. So we wilding, running up the walls and stuff like that. So, kudos to her for pulling together. But I always thought my dad was like the coolest person in the world. He a soldier. And it was always great. And the other part is uprooting your life and moving to a whole other place. You kind of have to get used to that early on. And something that influenced me was, again, with my dad, riding around with him. He used to play all the latest hip hop music, not even the clean versions. Like we just listening to whatever was new at the time. And I don't think he knew I was in the back seat, like soaking it all up. Tupac, Outkast, Scarface, just everything. And and then one day out the blue, I was like, hey, Dad, I wrote this. Or Mom, I wrote this. And let me know what y'all think. And then I just remember my first raps when I was 5, 6 years old, rapping it to them and seeing their face. And I kind of, fell in love with that feeling of surprising people with my creativity and stuff like that. So, yeah, I can't remember the last thing you said. You asked me something else.
So, did you always know you were going to be creative?
No, for a while I thought I was going to do football. I wanted to play football. I wanted to be in the NFL. But that was only because I didn't know how to be creative. I knew I wanted to rap, but I never knew how to go to the studio. I never knew anything. I was like, I don't understand how you go from the notebook to the, to the CD. So I just kind of gave up for a little while till I met this guy in my high school who was going to Quantum Beats off of Decker and recording his music. And I sat in on a session with him. And then from there, it was up, man. So, yeah. So I was maybe 17 at that point. Yeah, but up until then, I thought I was going to be a football player. I wanted to be. Michael Vick was my idol, man. I looked up to Michael Vick. Yeah.
So you said you have other siblings. Are you the middle child?
Yep, right in the middle.
See, I knew it. I just felt the vibe. Middle child vibes.
We overlooked, man.
We are. We're the best out here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, my older brother was always a hard worker, I don't want to say the golden child because he got in trouble too, but he was always the one working hard. He was the leader. And then my younger brother, I felt like he could, they felt like he could do no wrong. Mm-hmm. I'm in the middle. Ain't nobody worried about me at all. Yeah. So I'm in my room.
Coasting.
Just chilling. Yeah.
You can do whatever you want as a middle child. You learn from their mistakes. Yep. And the one after you learn that they don't really make mistakes. They don't even take the risk enough because they already know what's going to happen.
Yep. Yeah.
So what different cities did you live in as a child? Did you guys move a lot?
Yeah, a little bit. And when in the beginning, because I was born in Tacoma, Washington.
Okay.
And maybe at 6 months old, we moved to Fort Benning, Georgia. And that was where my little brother was born. And from there, we moved to Watertown, New York. And then from Watertown, New York, we moved to Simbach, Germany. And it's called the city was called Kaiserslautern or something like that.
What?
They used to just call it K-Town, but Kaiserslautern. Yeah, K-Town. And then from there we moved here. So that was 5 different places before I was 11. And then we moved here when I was 11 and I've been here ever since.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Fort Jackson became home then for a while.
Yeah. Fort Jackson was actually, we only stayed at Fort Jackson for maybe 6 months. And then we found a house and it was, I like to tell everybody it's such a culture shock, cause I was in Germany, it's pretty much all white. There was only one other black kid. And then I come here and it's all black. You know what I'm saying? So I'm wearing my short shorts and my shirt tucked in with the collar and stuff like that. And how we dress. Yeah. I think I'm funny because I was a class clown in Germany and everybody's like, this guy's corny. So I switched up my whole style. Like towards the end of the year, I was like, okay, now I'm going to be a gangbanger. I want to be like Snoop Dogg, and it was just being stupid. That's
right. Yeah. Hormones get going, and
exactly.
Gangsta is cool, and
nobody
wants to mess with you. So you try to see how hard you can go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been down at you.
Got punched in the face a lot.
Oh wow!
But it's cool though. We good now. That was a long time ago.
What school did you go to?
Here at middle school, Summit, Ridgeview for high school, and Longleaf for middle school too.
Longleaf. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned kids now, right?
I have one kid. Yeah.
Kid. How old is your kid?
He's 3. He'll be 4 in July.
Okay, so my kid just turned 4.
Oh wow!
So I feel you.
Yeah. It's a boy, girl.
Yeah, it's a boy.
But I got a little boy, man. They don't believe in gravity. They don't think nothing can hurt them.
Oh my goodness,
Jesus! They put too much trust in me.
Yeah, I started it's something I was trying. Like I'm trying to work with it myself, and then I'm trying to also work with it with my wife because she's always terrified of stuff. But like I want him to fall now.
Yeah.
So he learns how to what his limits are.
Mm-hmm.
Because I did crazy shit like that.
and you're going to that's,
right.
Yeah, that's how you learn, like you said. And my kid, he's autistic, but he's smart. He's super smart. And sometimes I feel like because of that, I love my mom. I feel like she shelters him a little bit sometimes. My wife does. But I don't want to be like, oh, you got to be hard on him. You got to be.
Right.
But it's kind of like a balance where I don't want to treat him like he's so different that he can't, do certain things or he can't act a certain way. But at the same time, I try to be loving and soft with him too, because that's important.
Yeah.
So
my sister has autism. She's 33. So and my day job, I never talk about my day job on the air. This might become politically problematic. But anyway, my day job, I'm with the media and communications department at Family Connection of South Carolina. And so we're like the PTI in the state.
Okay.
So when you enter into the school system, you get an IEP, which basically is an individualized education plan. So it's what services the school is going to provide for you.
Yeah.
We're the people that advocate for you and give you the resources you need to tell the school, no, I need X, Y, and Z. Right, so, come holler at us in that time. But I think honestly, getting therapy and services like that, because I'm the same way. Like when my sister was coming up, I wanted, but you have to learn how to interact in this world. And,
exactly.
Yeah. And I think there has been a lot more development in like the way that you teach that now. And that's the therapies.
Yeah. And I definitely think we have spoken with you guys because my wife usually does all the, the planning and stuff, but I'm there sometimes. But he's in school now in pre-K for 3-year-olds, and he'll be he'll be going 8 hours next year. But yeah, they do a good job with. We just had a parent-teacher meeting the other day, and they were just saying how he's doing really good. He doesn't get in any trouble, but he doesn't play with other kids. He likes to play by himself. Doesn't have any siblings or anything like that. So that's one thing I hope to see more next year is him. Yeah, because
I think that's the thing too. Just from that generation that grew up over COVID. Is like there's a lack of that, because I remember like when my kid was young and it would be like, well, we can go to the park as long as nobody else is there. And then the first time we go to the park and there's other kids and I'm like, yeah, go play with them. He's like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Now go ahead. Yeah.
What's safe and what's not
safe
now.
And so like there's a whole generational like gap there for the play, if you don't have siblings. And he has cousins and stuff, but we weren't all bubbled up. He got a lot of cousins.
No, my son got like 5-6 cousins, all female.
Oh.
Yeah, he hates it.
Like, I can't tackle them. I can't,
Yeah, he just hates to scream. Like, they're so loud and screaming.
Man.
They get to screaming, he gets to stomping. So.
Oh.
Well, so, like, that's one of the things that, we talk about on our show is that transition to fatherhood and, like, deciding consciously the role that we're going to take, because, like, I feel like there's a lot of, like,
it's like a lot of cultural role of masculinity is like, we got to prepare you for how rough it is out there. And if I'm not hard, you know, but there's also like this culture shift going on where it's like, I don't want to be an ass to my kid. Exactly. I really don't.
Exactly.
You know, but I'm also dealing with some like instinctive learned behaviors that I've got from the previous generation, you know, even though like, you know, I love my father and he's great. This is his birthday today, actually.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah. But you know, that generation is a little bit harsher than what is standard now, you know? And so like, we got to find our balance. And so like, you are now working with your father and, you know, like,
nah,
how is that? How is that?
Working with my dad it's cool. It's cool now. There was some growing pains in the beginning because mainly because he's my dad. I'm his son. Yeah. So I don't know. It was like we're father and son. And then they moved to Texas and then they moved to Korea. So I didn't see him for like, this is as an adult. I didn't see them for like 3 years and then they came back and I was like, I've been doing music this whole time.
Right.
Now I want to.
I'm an adult. Here I am. Here's my career.
This is what I want to do. I could use your help. And so in the beginning, it was a lot of, I don't think you should talk like, I don't think you should say this. I don't think you should say that. And I'm like, Dad, I've been doing this for like, this is my life now. You can't tell me how to. You know, if it's a business related thing, I think that's what we learned. Like if it's something business related, then I tend to trust his opinions a little more. If it's a creative idea, then I got to put my foot down.
That's
like, this is what I do. Like, leave me alone.
Nice.
But yeah, my dad, like the hardest working man that I ever met. And he goes hard, man. And I'm surprised he's not here. He must have probably sleep from working all night. but yeah, that was like a big turning point in my life was him just taking interest in my career. You know, in my mid-20s, even though like I've been doing it since I was a kid, and he was always kind of like, they let me, express myself, but somewhere around my mid-20s, he was really interested in what I was doing and wanting to help out. So
transition to seeing you as an adult. And, you actually have something to say now instead of that's cute.
Exactly. And that's, you just had to live life a little bit.
Right.
To have something interesting to talk about other than the girl that broke your heart.
Well, and you have to have some like experience that is not shared with your parents because, you know, even if you're nice as a teenager, you're rapping about stuff that they saw.
Yeah, exactly. You know? Exactly. They know your story or they feel like they know everything about you, but you like you said, you live a whole life away from them and they got to come and, listen to pay attention to what I'm saying. And then, you'll learn me a little bit better, But we're good now. We're in a good place, I think. Now, but in the beginning, it was kind of rough, man. He was.
There's always growing pains and stuff. Yeah. And I think like I would guess any kind of like management relationship. I know me and project managers, or me and whoever is my boss at the time on whatever project. Like, there's always growing pains because there's shit I want to do a certain way, and if you're not doing it that way,
you're on my way.
But then when it's family, you got and then you also have that tie that you want to hold it there.
And I still got to come see you on Thanksgiving. So
right. So how do y'all keep that relationship separate, like family and work?
We don't, and we should, but we really don't, man. We just at the dinner table at Thanksgiving, we're talking about what the next show is and stuff like that. We kind of laugh it off though. Like we'll say stuff. My dad he'll say something. And I'll be like, man, leave me alone if I fire you. Type stuff. Like we joke about it. We don't take it too serious. And I think I got to a point where I can kind of speak to my dad in a way of like, that's not cool, or this isn't. I speak my mind a little more, and I think that's good because for the longest it was like, that's my dad. I respect him. I'm never gonna say, I can't say nothing.
Right. But you can respect and disagree at the same time.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
Yeah.
That was something that I definitely had to learn in order to have a healthy business relationship. So
now, what about your other siblings? How do they like?
Both my brothers are managers at Publix, so that's kind of their career. They always, they're gonna be corporate. They're super smart college graduates. You know what I'm saying? But my older brother's also on TikTok. He has like 300,000-400,000 followers on TikTok. He does drink challenges and stuff like that. So Moheezy Fosheezy, I want to shout him out. That's his name, Moheezy Fosheezy. But they kind of do their own thing. We all got families and stuff like that. So they come to the shows and support when they can, but they're not really a part of the business. And I would never want to force them to do something that they weren't
right
into.
Well, yeah, and everybody doing their own thing is good. It's good for people's individuality.
Yeah.
And it also lets the youth know that there's other things you can do, because you don't want to get locked into a family business where the next generation is like, well, I got to do this.
That's why I asked, because I was like, I wonder if they're all like a part of the entertainment business.
That's nice if that happens. You know, if you set up for life because the family got a business, I ain't gonna say no, bro.
We're not the Wayne. I'm not the type of person to even feel like, excuse me, I'm doing this and you have to come support me.
Right.
Why aren't you supporting me? You know, that's not me. If I do something that you connect with, then please, you know, come support it. But otherwise, live your life, man.
Yeah. So now that you are a father, what are some of the lessons that you've learned from your dad that you want to like pass? Like, this is something I've been thinking a lot about, you know, like, because my dad never says anything, like there's not sayings.
Oh yeah,
you know, it's all action, you know?
Yeah. The biggest thing that I want to try to pass down is there are consequences to every action. You know, take it with your head high. You know what I'm saying? Don't ever I never ran from a whooping or a punish. If I did wrong, I understood. He always spoke to me and been like, this is going to happen because you did this. And that led me to just take responsibility for my actions. And I would love to pass that down to my child. If you do this is going to happen. If you keep on throwing things, I'm going to cut your TV show off.
Yeah.
And on the other end of things, just to spend more time, because my dad, like I said, he's a hard worker. So there's sometimes I wish that we were a little bit closer growing up and, you know, spent a little more time together. He was also my football coach too at one point. So we did have those bonding moments.
Right.
There was also those times where he was gone for like a year. He was gone for a long time.
Right.
So I you know, just to spend more time with my son, just playing with him, you know, is something that I take from my childhood too.
Yeah. Yeah. I do a lot of work from home. And there's always, you know, like he's always, play with me, Dad, play with me, Dad. And I want to every second, you know, except for when I don't. Yeah. And then when I got to get something done, you know,
right.
Because, but yeah, that balance, and that, I think, you know, there was like this idea at one point in time that as a father, your role was to bring home the bacon. Exactly. And you had to go out there and just work and work and work. And it was okay that you weren't around your kids and your family because you were bringing home. But it's not like that anymore. Everybody's working. Right. And, you know, so do we pay somebody else to take care of our kids, or do we take more of an active role? And I think that personally, from where I sit, us taking more of an active role wherever we can as a family, you know, not just us, but the older generation. Right. And if you got siblings old enough to do that too, but like, you know.
It takes a village.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Do you have a village? Like,
yeah, absolutely. My mom watches my kid when me and my wife are both working. So that's really it. I mean, communication is the key.
Yeah.
Like, I try to be as vocal as I can about the way I want him to be raised. That way,
how's that go?
Right. Man. I was about to say, like, you're a little bit younger than us. So, like, I want to know, like, how do you want your child to be raised? Like, what are some things you...
Again, I just want him to have some type of integrity. I want him to be able to, again, take responsibility for his actions. And I don't know, I just want to be good. And he is a good boy, man. He doesn't get in no trouble or anything like that. But when he does, I'm on him.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I have a good relationship with my mom and my wife, and whenever I'm not around, I always feel like he's in good hands.
Okay.
But it doesn't really extend past that. I'm not really... It took me a minute to even want him to go to school because I'm kind of not comfortable with anybody around my child like that. But
yeah, same.
Yeah, I gotta break past that at some point.
Right, right.
Yeah, that's
fatherhood.
Oh man, yeah, we're eventually we're gonna do this Father's Day fatherhood episode. Yeah. Like we keep on talking about it, but I think we're also like.
Yeah, it's gonna happen
still
this year.
Figuring shit out too. Yeah, man. Like, I don't have any wise uncle like words of wisdom about this shit. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
So to transition into your music, you know, being a music artist, you're kind of like placed in a creative settings with like-minded individuals. So what message do you want your listeners to grasp from your music?
I really just want people to listen to my music and say, "That's dope. That's amazing. I think I can do it better though." That's what I want.
Like a challenge.
Yeah, I want to inspire, man. Like just like the people who I grew up listening to. Like I grew up on Outkast and like even like Childish Gambino and different artists like that. Like just who do everything. And I'm like, man, I think I can do it too. You know, so that's really the message. That and just be true to yourself. I feel like my music was terrible before I started being honest. Like when I was pretending to be something else.
That's part of the growth, though. I think at a certain stage, people want to mimic what they hear. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then you use that to get good at the art form. And then once you got the tools, you live life and you got shit to say. Right. And now you know how to do it.
Yeah. But now the dark side of that is I'm terrified to put music out now because I'm telling you real life stories.
Oh, it's gutting yourself on a track.
Yeah. And half the time people don't even take it as serious as as it was to me at the time. Right. But when even putting it out is kind of just nerve wracking sometimes, especially if I'm talking about somebody specifically, talking about my dad or my wife or something in my music. And
because you're being like completely vulnerable.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand that. I think that's why it takes artists a little bit longer to put music out, is because you have to go through stuff and then you got to like release it onto the music.
Right.
What's that process like for you? Because you're going into your second
album, Raindrops. This is my first album where I recorded this at home completely, pretty much alone. Like any day I was off, I wake up early in the morning, everybody sleep because I love mornings. And it's peaceful, and I would record and everything like that. But I was just kind of locked in a cage. I didn't even let a lot of people hear what I was making, other than my wife and a few friends. But so now I'm kind of nervous, but at the same time I feel like this is the best music I've ever made, and I can't wait for everybody to hear it, man. Because I'm getting personal and vulnerable, but it's not like in a sad, depressing way. It's kind of like this is it's kind of like this is what it's like in my house on a day-to-day basis. Yeah, so I hope people get that. I hope people listen to it and understand, because I just explained kind of the theme of the album. Okay, so it's basically one long day in my life. Like my last album was my life from start to where I am now, and this album is just one long day. I wake up, in the beginning of the album, I wake up and go to work and deal with like the stress of work and money and all that. The second half, I'm coming home to my wife and being showered with love and everything, and maybe a few little arguments or whatever, and just playing with my son and things like that. And that's just a balance of work and then having a place of peace to come home to.
I see.
So that's kind of what I'm pushing with this album.
So you're dealing with time frames and with like energetic transitions within your day-to-day life and within your life as a whole in the previous album.
Yeah, exactly. Because to me, it's all about recharging, man. This world it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff that we go through on a day-to-day. Even just being on social media all day is stressful. You need to come home and unwind and recharge every single day. And it's important to have in my case, a strong Black woman there to just handle stuff for it. Like when you get home, just to be able to just, I'm done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And she got you. So that was important to me. So I wanted to put that out there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's I'm very interested to hear that. That's
it's called Raindrops.
Yeah.
It'll be available.
I like the way you when I listened to the Sunflower album, you were really like detailed and like how you were feeling, like metaphorically, like giving us like visuals through word. So that's how I know like you really put your all into your music.
Yeah, and I'm a big album guy. Like I love a good album, not just a collection of songs.
Right.
I love, like I said, Outkast or Frank Ocean, even Kanye, Kendrick. These people who they want to give you an album, an experience, like a movie in their own way.
Man on the Moon, I think.
Man on the Moon, Kid Cudi. Yeah, exactly. Man on the Moon 2 is probably my favorite, just because the atmosphere is dark. It's like the second Star Wars, kind of like the sequel, everything is darker.
Dark in that second act.
Yeah, so this is my second album, but it's not really darker. It's actually, because it's hard for me to even listen to Sunflower, because there's certain things that I said on there, and I understand, I know the deeper thing behind it, so it's tough for me to even listen to some of those songs. And so I was like, on this one, I don't want to make anything depressing. Even if I am feeling depressed, I want to make something that's going to bring me out of it.
Right.
Yeah, so
Sunflower.
Well, and it's part of that fuel.
Yeah.
Like, and that's one thing about fatherhood is like there is an abundance of motivation from duty and necessity, but then there's also like perpetual exhaustion all the time.
Yeah, and sometimes it's like nobody cares. Like dad's like, no one cares how you're sad and you're tired.
Because I mean, in my situation, like I guess. Like I'm always worried about making sure my wife is good.
Yeah.
and making sure that she gets a chance to recharge.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes I'm just
yeah. Nah, same here. Even it doesn't like I get off work and come home and cook dinner sometimes. Like
yep,
I'm ready.
that's me.
Yeah, I got to take care of everybody, but as long as I can have my recharge time, I'm good. And she's good about letting me have my time to just recharge. So, yeah.
And being conscious of those spaces and those energetic times, and like
Mm-hmm.
particularly when you do work from home, like making a transition between this is now no longer the work time and this is the home time. And that's something that I had to be like very strong about. So I used to get a lot done just sitting on the couch watching some random shit, and working on the computer. But it's like, no, I can't. I can do that later in the evening, but if I was awake, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Like I'm not doing that. There's time.
Now, I want to say I think that I would love to work from home, but I'm sure it's probably some cons to it too. Because right now I got a regular 9 to 5 I go to, and I get like a split second of being home, and then it's back out to go perform and do interviews and stuff like that. So
I'll tell you, if I had a home office, it would be beautiful.
Yeah.
But my house is like 900 square feet. It's like basically a 2-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
So you said you created a studio at your house. You recorded everything at your house.
Yes.
So what is it like producing your own music? So you handle everything. You edit it.
Everything except I don't make the beats anymore. I used to make the beats when I was younger in my music, but sample clearances are expensive. And I was like, I want this to make money someday, so I'm not going to sample anything. So I'm going to get people to make beats who don't use any samples. They create everything from scratch. But yeah, I record myself. I do the album covers. I got a photographer. His name's New Blaze. He takes the pictures. I edit them, crop them, do the color correction and stuff. I film a couple videos and do all that too. Yeah, and I record everything and edit it up and chop it up.
Production team.
Yeah.
It's all in you. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool.
Except the photography. I can't take pictures of myself, but if I could, I would.
It is harder.
There's nothing wrong with working with other people in the community where you can. I think like that's something that we all just kind of like come up with this idea that we got to do it all ourselves because we can't pay anybody else.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there is like an added value sometimes in a synergy that we can reach, and like beats is a good one. Because it's very time consuming, and the sample clearances is a pain in the ass, and all of the logistics of that is a pain in the ass.
Right.
And if somebody else is really dope at it, a collaboration on that level, helps you network within the community too.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I can't play any instruments or whatever. But
right.
I will mention for this album, I did have a keyboard player, Rob Leonard, came by and he played the keys. And on the Sunflower, I had the dubber playing.
Yeah,
the guitar.
I know dubber. Yeah,
he played the guitar on. Pretty much if you hear the guitar on there, that's the dubber.
That's dubber, okay.
But, so that was me kind of getting back into the beat making without having a sample. I just get somebody else to play the stuff and then I put it together.
Did it live in the studio when they played?
Yeah, he came to
see. And there's added value to that too. There's a little bit of
y'all say studio, it sounds fancy. It's just a bedroom with
like we had it,
First studio I made my bedroom closet.
Exactly.
It was where we were first. It was the first shit Kevin recorded was in my bedroom closet.
Yep. That's how we start. I prefer that anyway to big professional studios. It feels like work. Like I'm just at home chilling. I got the TV right here.
Yeah.
When I feel like recording, I'll record. Kind of like I like to take my time with it. You
gotta be in the right mood and the setting. So it's like that's good that you have it in your house where you can like just feel comfortable. Because sometimes, like when you're going to studios or bigger places, you're like, "Oh my god, I gotta be on point." Like, this is paid. This is money coming out my pocket every time they hit record. Like,
and that could be good too, though. That could be good too to kind of keep you on track.
Right, the fire behind you.
Yeah. But I noticed my music is more weird because I have one song on the Sunflower where I recorded in a professional studio. My song ADD Flows, which is like my favorite song so far that's released. And that was in a professional studio. I was nervous and I was like, I got to get this, I got to get it done right. And it came out great. Right. But I also have other songs where I'm being more weird and being more confident in trying different things. And
you can play more because you don't have any time stretch. And if you don't like it, you can do it again tomorrow.
Exactly. And that's Raindrops. That's what Raindrops is.
Nice.
Yeah. So how do you balance it all?
I don't know. Well, I'm getting more comfortable with saying no.
Okay.
To things that I really don't want to do or not in the headspace to do. Yeah. That's kind of the toughest thing. And you got to be okay with people being upset with you sometimes. But no, I need to be at home right now. I need to relax. I just got off the road and, whatever. I just performed. I just did this. I just did that. And then certain people need things from you and sometimes you got to be like, I can't right now. I can't offer it to you, you know? And I think I've had like anxiety attacks about like, you know, feeling like I have to do everything and be everywhere at one time. You know? So yeah, just being comfortable saying no and being able to understand what's important at the moment. You know? And I gotten better at not responding to messages with how I'm feeling. Because if you text me and ask me for something right now, I'm like, oh my God, it's too much. It's too much.
Right.
So I'm like, let me respond in
later.
Like an hour later. And see how I'm feeling. Because I say no to everything.
Sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to take a second, just take a breather. I should have just.
I pretty much need to like wait 20 minutes on 90% of the text messages I get. That's just a general rule. Never on social media. Like I never need to comment on anything ever.
Same, man. Social media stresses you out.
Yeah.
Man. It does. That's like a whole other job.
Do you have any like healthy tips that you do, or do you like walk, meditate?
I mean, not like any type of scheduled meditation or anything like that, but I do like to go for walks. I like to run just to, you know, catch my breath. And I don't know, man. I just communicate more. Like I talk to my wife about how I'm feeling. That's why I love her so much. That's the only person I could just tell her exactly how I'm feeling at the time. You know, I can't really do that with a lot of people. And even if it's something that it might sound mean or I might sound a little aggressive, she understands like, okay, you needed to get that out, you know? And then I don't know if I have any tips for anybody because everything works different for everybody.
This is true.
Yeah. So just, you got to figure out what works for you, man. Figure out what your recharge is, you know, get to that point where there's nothing. I like to get to the point where there's nothing to do. Like when there's nothing at all, that's peaceful.
Do you take like long breaks, like vacations or hiatuses, or can't afford it? Nope.
Nah, man. Time keeps moving. I take a little one, you know. I'll take tonight off.
Well, I was at a conference last week and they were talking about people, you know, like people that are running organizations needing to take like sabbaticals for like a month to 3 months every 5 years.
Yeah, nah.
Right? I was like,
I did take 3 days off for my birthday.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they weren't saying every year. They were saying like every 5 years you take a break so that you don't get total burnout or whatever. I was like, I mean, you know, that'd be beautiful. People do that in places like France and stuff, but like I can't imagine that being feasible for most of the things I'm involved with.
Jump back into it with the same type of energy. Yeah. You know?
But aren't they starting the 4-day weekend thing? Did you see that?
Man, I would love that.
Oh, they're trying to pass a bill where we could do 4-day weekend instead of like, you know, just
Friday, Saturday, and Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so I mean, so there's a lot of ways this could work out. So there's you could do 4 10s. You could do 4 10-hour days, and then you alternate. So you get a 4-day weekend and a 2-day weekend. And then you still got a 40-hour week. The other way is that they reduce your hours, which is fine if you're on salary.
Yeah.
If you're on hourly, you're fucked.
Yeah.
And see, every time they start being like, "Oh, we're gonna do this," it's like the idea of unlimited PTO.
Mm-hmm.
Except you don't get paid the same.
Which doesn't work out.
Right. Yeah. Like somebody always got an angle on it. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to research that. I'm gonna have to
pros and cons to
find
everything.
That. So ain't gonna get me.
So what current projects do you have coming up?
That's the raindrops, and after that, videos. And I don't know if I had told anybody yet, but I wrote a movie.
Oh, wow.
Like a short film. I wrote a short film. I filmed it and everything like that.
Oh, you already shot it?
Yeah, it's done, man.
Oh, wow.
I'm nervous about telling people for some reason.
I just saw somebody post something, Cedric. I'll send it to you. How to submit your short film to something. I was like, do I know anybody who did a short film? So that's crazy that I just saw it this morning. So I'll tag you it on Facebook.
Yeah, I did a little short film to go along with the album.
Cool.
The short film probably be like June-ish. Like, gotta let that breathe a little bit.
Yeah.
Fun. Did you edit it?
Yeah, I shot it, edited. It's
wow.
Hell yeah.
Juiced it. You doing it all.
Yeah, you don't want to tell anybody about it. What's your sign, man?
Right.
I'm a Sag, man. Sagittarius.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if that lines up.
Yeah. You don't know your full natal?
Full chart.
Yeah.
I need
you got some water sound going on somewhere.
I don't know. I feel like it's ready when it's ready. I just feel like the album is so good. I know it's good.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm gonna just focus on this. and then, or focus on pushing this. And then when I feel like the movie is good, then I'll start pushing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
feel you.
Yeah. Let us know so we can help
Perfection.
support and, get the name out there,
Yeah. Definitely.
And then y'all have like regular events that y'all do, right?
Every Thursday we do.
Thursday.
Yep. We interview local artists, entertainers, business owners. We also do an open mic that same night. So, and I get to perform too. So, yeah.
And where's that at?
It's at My House Restaurant, 7205 Two Notch Road.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Every Thursday. It starts at 7 to like 11-ish.
That's a good way to network and collaborate, but then also promote yourself.
Yeah.
At every show.
Exactly.
Like, you're going to hear this new song.
Yep. We even got we have the Hylo Art backdrop, and then we have my poster in the middle. So when people are performing and, they're recording themselves, I'm all in the background.
All branded.
Yeah. And every video is cool.
Well, yeah, I mean, it sets you up as a local event promoter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it puts you in the community, lets you talk to people like us that are doing stuff, people all over the community that's doing stuff.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I see your smart marketing techniques, man.
Now look. That's my dad. My dad takes care of the business stuff. He had most of these ideas. I'm the art side. I got the photo for you. You know what I'm saying? He puts it on the poster and puts it up and everything like that.
So. I made this movie.
Yeah.
Now it's your turn, Dad.
Exactly.
So when you made this movie, did you just like made it, or did you find grants for it, or?
Oh, no, it's very low budget. It's very.
Well, I've been on those sets. Yeah.
So, I have a camera and I have a friend who has a camera. Mm-hmm. So I wrote the script first because I always like to write and tell stories. I went to Art Institute and they taught us how to do like scripts and stuff.
Where'd you go?
Art Institute Atlanta.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, for like 2 years and I dropped out. But I wrote it and everything, and then I had people in mind, and pretty much everyone I asked said they would do it. So we just
did it.
Yeah, I planned it out. I was like, we're gonna shoot it in 2 days. It's called Raindrops. So I was like, I'm gonna do it at the end of September when it's around hurricane season.
Yeah,
it's kind of dangerous. We shot it in the middle of a hurricane. We're outside in the rain with hoodies on, but I think it came out pretty funny. I think it's a comedy, so hopefully people laugh at it. I really just need to figure out how to promote it. I never put out a movie, so I don't know exactly. I don't know how to do a movie poster. I know how to do an album cover.
Right.
Got to try to make that translate over.
Mm-hmm.
And when I figure that out, then y'all will get all the information. But it's gonna be called The Cloudy Day Adventure of Robbie Raindrop.
I want to learn how to write scripts. We're gonna have to do like a little lesson.
We know people.
Yeah.
It's really just the format. Like, it's just the way you format it. But just telling the story and formatting it in a way where the dialogue is separate from the
So this is something that you studied to write for media?
Well, I learned a little bit in school because I went for audio engineering, but they made us take like film editing classes and stuff like that. And then I found that interesting, so I went home and would look it up on YouTube on how to do it.
Yeah, and once you know the format and how to do it, you just kind of run with it.
Yeah.
And I downloaded a program,
does the script writing? Yeah.
And then also that's how I learned how to edit my videos and stuff like that was from school too. But again, went home and YouTubed it. Right.
Well, and that's kind of the way it is with the conferences. Like when you go to a conference, somebody gives you, like, oh, this is the thing I'm using, and then you go home and Google the shit out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah. So I took a course where they were talking about movie art.
Mm-hmm.
So that whole concept, I remember some stuff, but I'm gonna have to Google a little bit more stuff like from YouTube and stuff. Yeah. But it doesn't seem hard. Whatever, like if you just play off the album and then just give everybody their credit on the movie type film thing.
Exactly. And I just know the posters are more
larger size scale.
So, just got to figure that out. And it won't be too hard. And I just got to pay for a professional photographer to come through and do it. And
Fiverr, somebody can do it off Fiverr.
Yeah, Fiverr. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We use Fiverr a lot. Shout out to the creatives out there.
Yeah, absolutely. For our animated cover art.
Yeah.
Got to get on there.
It's one of our secret tricks that Kevin probably don't want us telling, but he's not here today.
We spilling all the juice.
Right.
So where can everybody find you on streaming platforms, social media? How can they stay in contact?
Well, on Facebook and Instagram, Chris Mohead. But you want to follow Hylo Art. That's where you'll find all the events. That's Facebook and Instagram. And I think we have a Twitter too, but we barely post anything on there. And then Hylo Art on YouTube, Chris Mohead on all streaming services if you want to listen to my music. I changed my name. My last album was under Rob Savage. That's ROB.Savage. So it's all one word. That's just how I spelt it. So if you want to listen to The Sunflower, you got to search under Rob Savage. And then all my other music will be under Chris Mohead.
Cool.
Yep.
Thank you. This was a good episode.
Thank y'all, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah. You're going to have to check. You have to go to Thursday night. You have to check out.
Yeah, I've been meaning to. I've been seeing it on Insta. And
yeah, because they go live and everything.
Yeah, we'll get you an interview too if you want.
Yeah.
You in there.
It's real cool. It's real chill. Michael go down a rabbit hole though, so you're going to have to like reel him up.
Oh,
like.
man. No, well, ours is a little different. Y'all's is more of a conversation. We just have like a list of questions and we're like, you know, this is what we're finna ask you.
Speed round.
Yeah, it's pretty quick.
Yeah.
We have so many, like, that's, you know, yeah. We try to interview as many people as we can. And that's why we got like 200 episodes or something crazy like that. But
yeah, y'all got a lot.
Yeah. So, yeah, we figured it out though.
Yeah, nice.
But thank y'all so much, man. This is great. I love like talking to you guys, and you know, it was real smooth. So yeah, I appreciate
you. Want to give any shout outs to anybody?
Shout out to Pops, man. Duke Mohead. That's my dad, my business partner. I want to shout out my wife. I want to shout out my son. Shout out my mom and everybody else. You know, shout out to God. You know, for giving us this beautiful day. It's so nice out. And yeah, shout out to y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you everybody for listening to today's episode. And we look forward to seeing you and hearing from you soon. Follow us on all streaming platforms. Tell someone you love them. It's a great day outside. See you soon. Bye.
Peace.
That's it for today's episode of the Hilltop Glove Podcast. Make sure to subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and other platforms. Also follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Hilltop Glove.